The show also featured a Grayson Waller talk show segment with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins as his guests, which was a very forgettable segment outside of Cody issuing a challenge to The Rock to a match anytime, anywhere. And he didn't specify, but it could only be one place. You know, he wasn't challenging The Rock to a match in France at Backlash. For all the chaos that Rock coming back caused with this main event scene here on this WrestleMania card, he obviously came back to work a match on one show. That show is WrestleMania. Cody's a little busy, though, on night 2. But night 1 is wide open. Rollins stood up at that point. He put his hand on Cody's shoulder and said that it was time to cut the head off the snake once and for all. He said he admires Cody challenging The Rock, but the world knows that there is no such thing as one-on-one with the bloodline, and he said, should Rock accept Cody's challenge, just know you won't be fighting alone. Austin Theory was there just to be the punching bag for Cody and Seth. Waller just stood back and never lifted a finger to help his buddy out. Waller never even took a bump. No surprise appearance by Rock and Roman. It was probably a stretch, but I thought there was a chance. No bloodline at all. That was the more surprising part. And no follow-up on Roman Reigns telling Grayson Waller on SmackDown Friday night that he had something to tell him before he flew to Australia to host that segment. That's when the camera cut away. We didn't hear the rest of their conversation. The only thing Waller did on the pay-per-view was ask the crowd to acknowledge the tribal chief. That was it. So we didn't get any real follow-up on that. Cody says he wants The Rock one-on-one. And then you have Rollins immediately stepping up and saying you won't be fighting alone. I still think we're getting a tag team match on night 1 of WrestleMania, with Cody and Seth against Rock and Roman. Rock has been announced for SmackDown this Friday, so we should get our answer there, or at least the tease of something. Rock against Cody one-on-one the night before his match with Roman Reigns, I feel like it would overshadow the main event of night 2. Yeah, I know that's for the title and the Rock match wouldn't be, but everything Rock is in really kind of overshadows Roman and everything else going on. So that would be one fear that I have. And also, you know, what does that mean for Seth Rollins? You're going to have your world champion, your world heavyweight champion is going to go out there and do what? He's going to play manager on night 1 in Cody's corner. It's going to be like his corner man. He's going to be to Cody what Mickey was to Rocky Balboa. I'm not really a fan of having Roman and Cody wrestle at all on night 1, because why would you risk an injury heading into your main event on night 2? I mean, with the way the injury bug has bitten this company recently, really both companies, you know, WWE and AEW, on a show this big, a match that big, why chance it? It's like Tony Khan having MJF work those meaningless Ring of Honor tag team title matches on the pre-show of his pay-per-views last year. But I got an email from Sam in the UK last night that I thought raised an interesting possibility. Not necessarily one that I think is going to happen or agree with, but it's an interesting possibility, and I thought it was worth bringing up here. He thought it was odd that, and I did too, that Grayson Waller never lifted a finger to help Austin Theory during that beatdown yesterday. And it got him wondering if maybe Roman Reigns issued a hands-off warning to him on SmackDown the night before when it comes to Seth Rollins. And maybe that's why they cut away and they never followed up on it and we never heard anything about it again. Maybe it was a hands-off order for Seth because Roman and Seth are actually in cahoots. And that's an interesting way to look at it because Seth really did come off as very desperate. The way that he was begging Cody a few weeks ago to pick him, right? Pick me in the World Heavyweight title to challenge for WrestleMania. And ever since then, Seth is suddenly standing side by side with this man that he supposedly hates like he's his best friend. You know, they're out there like Siamese twins attached at the hip or the head. They're attached. Where one goes, the other goes. He thinks whether it's a singles or a tag on night 1 that Rollins turns on Cody to stack the deck even more for him on night 2, only for us to then find out that Rock is actually a double agent for Cody. Which is actually the more realistic of the two. I think that probably is what's going to happen. But essentially, he's saying a double turn with Rock and Seth, where Cody and Roman had people working for them on their side the entire time. We just didn't know about it, and neither did they. It's an interesting idea. had they gone forward with CM Punk against Seth Rollins or WrestleMania like they had originally planned, Punk being as popular as he is, Rollins may have ended up playing the heel anyway. So if they were planning on going heel with Seth Rollins, let's say they were, they could just adapt it for this storyline instead and have him betray Cody. But for me, there's just too many inconsistencies with it to really support the idea. First of all, why would Seth Rollins align with Roman Reigns after the way that Roman buried him in that World Heavyweight title on SmackDown? That makes little sense that Seth would be okay with him doing that. And I don't want to hear, it throws people off the scent. I mean, he buried that title 6 feet under. I just don't see the benefit in doing that. And then if Cody ends up winning the title on night 2 anyway, because Rock is a double agent, well, now Cody is on SmackDown with the WWE title and Seth is still on Monday Night Raw. How do you not immediately transition to Cody going after Seth Rollins? Now they're on separate brands. Not only that, but you've now killed off, and this is the biggest obstacle to me buying into this, you have now killed off, in this scenario, 2 of your top baby faces, the 2 top baby faces, with CM Punk being gone for the next 8 months, on Monday Night Raw. Because Cody goes to SmackDown, now Seth is a heel. So you lost Cody, you lost Seth as a babyface, and Punk is still gone. I think it does more harm than good. Makes for an interesting discussion point, but I think it does more harm than good.